All right, guys, welcome to this little tutorial I wanted to do for you to show you how to use your net worth template. Okay, so one of the first things that you'll see is that we have these top rows frozen so that you see exactly what you're working with up at the top, right? You want to make sure that you are taking the time to add your dates and that you're diligent about it so that you can see how your net worth is changing over time. Okay, so obviously there are some calculations within this sheet. And so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to list out our assets. Now, an asset is what you own, okay? So let's say you got $50 in the bank, in cash, and let's say you got about $1,200 in the bank, right? So what you notice is that positive numbers turn green, okay? So you may or may not have more than one bank. You can delete these rows if you need to. You can add more rows if you need to. So we're just going to select the row. You can either right click on it to have this menu pop up and delete the row, or you can click on it, go to edit, and then delete from here if you don't need the row. Right? Things change. You may want to keep it the same just because. Totally up to you. So as you are going through this list, you may say to yourself, well, I don't know what this is. I don't have this and I don't know what this is. And I think that anytime you run into something like that, it's a good thing, because the only way you are going to get where you're going is if you first know where you're at, right? And so you think about GPS, you think about Siri. The only way Siri can give you directions to where you want to go is by seeing your location, where you're currently at. So that's what ultimately this is about. It's about determining where you are as it pertains to where you want to go, right? So I say all that to just remind you, if there's something here, not to feel bad about it, but to start doing your research, start figuring out what they are so that you can add them to this as time goes on. Okay, so let's talk about why I have here multiple names under stocks. So you can invest in trade stocks in a brokerage, and your brokerage account is going to be very similar to a bank account. So what that means is that you could trade in more than one platform. And so what I've done for you is, if you have not traded or invested at all, I've given you links to Robinhood and Webull. They are going to give me, I think, like a free stock, as well as you, for clicking this link and joining if you haven't already. Let's say you have, right? So let's say you got about $10,000 in your Fidelity stock account. And you got in on one of these ones before they blew up. You are financially savvy. The other thing that is going to affect us really well is your personal residence. So the one thing you want to put here is the amount of your house right now. So if you were going to sell your house right now, how much would it be worth? You can also put your car here, right? Okay, so let's say you have a used, but it ain't, abused car, and you put how much you could sell it for here under vehicles. And then, you're looking good. Your net worth is looking really, really good right now. One thing I like to make sure that people are aware of is that the cash value of your life insurance policy is included in your net worth. Okay? So if you don't have life insurance, what that means is you need to be about it, like right now. I am not a life insurance agent. I cannot write up a life insurance, policy for you. But what I recommend as a start is to 10x your current salary into a 20-year term life insurance policy. So what does that look like? If you make $35,000 a year, then you want a life insurance policy for $350,000. Yo, look at you. You doing good, right? But let's take that out of here. You still at your 200 and something. So one other thing I just want to point out is that you can delete a field, or you can just put 0 to clear them out. So we're going to put that 300 in there because, again, you got 10,000 in stocks, so you know a little something, something. You got you some life insurance. So you're doing good. Unfortunately, that's not where the story ends. You also may have some liabilities. And this is essentially what's going to hurt your net worth, right? So your liabilities are what you owe. At the end of the day, what you want to think about is if you took everything you owned, all of your assets, and you sold them, your net worth is going to be the difference from your liabilities. You sold everything you own and then you paid everything off. How much would you be left with? That's your net worth. All right. So let's say you got some credit card debt. Okay. So one thing I want you guys to notice is that obviously all positive numbers have been formatted to be green. And so by just typing in $4,500, it added, right? It turned green. It put it as a positive number. And we don't want that because that's not correct. We want you to feel that. And so we want you to go ahead and put that negative number in there because at the end of the day, like I said, all of these are going to take away from your net worth. And so when you put the negative number in, you're going to see the format is going to make the color turn red. It's going to be a parentheses to let you know this is a negative number. Okay. And let's say, you feeling the emotional whatever of COVID. So you just you had to put something on the charge card. It is what it is. All of the things that we owe are going to be here. Your loans, including your student loans. So your car may be worth $13,000, but you might still owe $7,000 on it. Oh, forgot that negative. You might have some unpaid bills, whether it be medical bills, just any kind of bill that you have that's just been around that's unpaid. You want to list them out here. If this isn't enough for any reason, you want to go ahead and click here. Again, either right click or come to edit and then click, file. Insert row and then insert one below. All right, then you're going to select this, you're going to copy, you're going to go here and you're going to paste, and then you're just going to say bill 4. All right, you're going to make sure that you copy this as well, otherwise it's not going to be included in your overall calculation. So one really cool way to do that is if we just click the whole row, copy that, Control C. It couldn't do that. That's because it has a merge in it. So we're not going to get technical, but look at me trying to teach y'all. Let me see. We can do this instead. We can just select those. There we go. Make it easy, make it easy, make it easy. Okay. So you got more than one bill. And they don't have to be a lot. But you need to see everything. You want to see everything that you are working with. Now, even though your home now you could sell it for $250, let's say you bought it at $200 and you still owe $180 on it. Well, you definitely gotta account for that. And then if you have any student loans, like most of us in the good US of A do, you want to make sure that you account for that as well. So you was doing real good, in the beginning, which at the end of the day, you want to do as good as you can because it's going to help you with all this other stuff, right? You had like 600, something thousand. And now just by going through and adding some of the things that you owe, it has taken your net worth down to about $300,000. Now, I think that's great. Again, let me show you what that would look like if you did not have the cash value on your life insurance. You would be down to 22. What a difference that makes. Because at the end of the day, like we say, we're not wishing, hoping, or anticipating that you're passing away. But in the event that you did, that's all a net worth is. It's about legacy. What are you leaving? What can your family use all that you own to pay off all that you owe and still have something left over, right? We're going to talk about wills and trusts later at some point as well to make sure that they get this money. But right now, again, we just want to see where you are. And this is how you do that. We want to see how to actually increase that. What can we do to make things better? So let's go ahead and put that 350 back. And then that is essentially how you do how you calculate your net worth and use this template. Now, the one thing that I will say is that I also included the credit score here. And so we'll talk about credit a little later, but I want us to start monitoring and being aware of our credit score as well, because having good credit is going to allow us to leverage different funds in different ways. And so I'm not talking about the score that you can find in like a lot of these mobile apps, but I'm talking about the score that you get directly from the credit reporting agencies. You can get your report once a year. And then, we also, the reason why I said we're going to talk about this later is because we want to talk about how to increase that, how to, what do they call it? Dang, I am really having a pause right now. You want to, because I'm thinking about law stuff, you want to go and object, right? That's totally wrong, but y'all know what I mean. You want to go and like dispute. There it is. That's the word. You want to dispute things off of your record if they shouldn't be, of your credit score if they shouldn't be there. And so that's why we need to talk about it all together. But once we do, you want to make sure that you are adding that here as well. And so what we can do is over time, right? So let's say, I don't know. Let's say you got some money. We're just going to copy everything to make it easier. But let's say you're working with more money in cash. And let's say your stocks went up. And let's say you paid off a credit card. So essentially, I want us to track it, right? Because something may happen at 60 days, or 20 days where it actually goes lower. But again, knowing this information, being aware of this information, accounting for it and looking at it at least once a quarter. You want to do it every 30 days you can. I think that's what I'm going to do this year, but at least every 3 months, guys. It's going to be so amazing where we're going to be at the end of the year. So I'm excited. Now it's time to get to it. Y'all have any questions about this form or your net worth, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Y'all got me on social media. Y'all can email me at hi@denisenicole.com. Also, y'all know I am a non-technical teacher, so the one thing that I want to say about using this sheet is not to be afraid that you're going to mess it up, right? Copy, paste, delete, insert. If something does get out of order, just copy it again. Just start over. Again, email me and be like, hey, I don't know what this is, or, things happen and it's okay. They create it for things to happen like this. And so it's a learning curve. It may be a learning curve, but you're going to learn it because you're going to use it and you're going to be tech savvy too. So, all right, guys, time to get to it. Peace.